If you've been worried or even a little bit obsessed about your dream not manifesting, today's video is just for you. See, when you're worried about your dream not manifesting, it means that you're focused on lack. And lack can actually be used as an advantage. And so in this video, we're going to talk about how you can turn your lack into dream fuel so that you can manifest even faster. So the main theme of today's video is about accepting lack. I'm going to show you 3 really awesome ways to do this. Now, accepting lack is a powerful way to turn lack into dream fuel, because when you accept and appreciate lack, it ceases to be lack. So let me explain that again. When you accept and appreciate lack, it ceases to be lack. Okay, so when we're focused on lack, something not coming, we typically feel worried, or we feel stressed, or we feel upset. And the message that we put out to the universe when we're feeling lackful is, I'm incomplete. I don't have everything. I don't have everything that I want. But if we can find a way to appreciate and accept lack, we shift that message, and the message becomes, I am complete. Everything is good as it is. I am whole. I have everything that I want. And so accepting lack neutralizes lack so that you're no longer focused on it, and then your dream can manifest. Okay, so that's the general idea. But again, I've got 3 strategies on how you can do this. All right, so again, we got 3 strategies here. These are all about radical acceptance of lack in order to neutralize it and turn something not coming into the exact reason why it comes and it manifests. And so our first one has to do with a question you can contemplate and ask yourself. And the question is this: why am I better off without my dream? Again, the question is, why am I better off without my dream? Now, that might seem kind of foreign. If you really want something, trying to contemplate why are you better off without it might sound a little bizarre, but it can be done. So let me give you an example so you can see how you can play with this trick. All right, so this is one that I use sometimes for my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm fortunate to have a pretty successful YouTube channel. I get a decent amount of views. I'm able to do this. This is like my career, which is fabulous for me. It's exactly what I want. But sometimes I don't get the views that I want. All right, so I may be noticing that the videos aren't performing the way that I would want for them to do. Okay. And so this is something that I'll play into. And this is a great one. Like if you're trying to establish like a TikTok or a YouTube channel, or maybe you want to be famous. This one's really good if like you wanted to be famous. I would try employing this one. But the question is, why would it be better for you not to blow up? Why would it be better for you not to get the views, or for your TikToks not to perform, or for you not to get the play, or you not to get the pilot? Why would you be better off? All right. So from my vantage point, the way I like to look at this is within the downsides of fame. Okay. So for me personally, I really actually do abhor the idea of being like famous. And so this is something that's really helpful for me. If my channel isn't doing so well, as I'll remind myself, well, it'd be better for me if the views stayed low, because heaven forbid I got famous and I had to deal with people banging down my door, or being noticed in the streets, or having all these trolls and scammers and impersonators. And I know from experience that when I've had videos that have gone particularly viral, there's a lot of nuisances that come along with those particular videos. And so that's something that I'll focus on. So if my view counts are lower, I'll remind myself, oh yeah, it's better if the view counts stay lower, because I don't want to deal with all the trolls. I don't want to deal with all the scammers. I don't want to deal with all the nonsense. I don't want to deal with people coming after me. I don't want to deal with that stuff. Okay. So that's one way that you could use this particular technique. Now, the nice thing about this is that when you start to focus on why would you be better off without your dream manifesting, you stop feeding into the lack. And you start to feel complete and whole as you are. And so maybe I've had a video that hasn't performed well, but then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Good. I'm glad this video is performing the way that it did. I like the pace of my life the way it is. Everything is good. I am fine. I am whole. I am complete. I have everything I want. And that's the way I feel. And then not surprisingly, like the next video I put up will perform much better. All right. And so that's because I'm not feeding into the lack. Instead, I'm appreciating the lack. I'm radically accepting the lack. And then the lack, because I'm appreciating it, ceases to be lack and my dream can manifest. I can get what it was that I wanted. Now, I challenge you to do this now. Think about something that you want that hasn't been coming. And I challenge you, ask yourself this question: why would you be better off if this thing didn't manifest? What would you be able to do? Who would you be able to see? Why would your life be better? What other opportunities would be there for you? Take a moment and think about it, and then jot down your response below in the comments so that everyone can get a good idea of how to practice this particular technique. It is super, super powerful. And I do have a few more techniques, but this one may work just on its own. So why not? Go ahead and give it a shot right now and jot down your response to that question below in the comments. All right, now let's move on to our second technique of radical acceptance of lack, so you can turn your lack mindset into dream fuel. You can make your dream manifest using your lack. Now, the last one that we did was really a mental one. It's really just thinking about, why would your life be better? And allows you to just accept the lack, appreciate the lack. This one takes it a step further, and it's more of a physical activity that you can do, physical technique. And so what I want you to do for this one is I want you to think about what can you do now that you wouldn't be able to do if you had your dream, okay? Again, what can I do now in my state of lack that I won't be able to do if and when my dream manifests? Okay. This is a really great technique because we're going to find an activity for you to do and then you can go do it. So again, let me give you an example, because examples usually tie these concepts up in a nice little bow so then you know how to implement them. But let's say that your dream that you've been wanting to manifest is that you want to get pregnant, but it's not happening. And you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're starting to get very frustrated. Well, you can play this game. And so think about what are the things that you won't be able to do if and when you get pregnant. And then go do those things and enjoy them. So I'm a great person to give this example because I had 2 children and I hated being pregnant. So I can give you a nice little list here of things that, you should enjoy doing right now while you can. If you're not pregnant and you want to get pregnant, go out and do these things. You can't eat sushi, and that sucks. I love sushi. You can't eat deli meats. Can't go on roller coasters. You can't sleep on your back. They make you sleep on your side. I like sleeping on my back. Some people like sleeping on their front. You can't sleep on your front when you've got that baby bump. Can't jump on trampolines. You can't drink like really strong coffee. So if you like coffee, that's out the window. You can't wear your cute skinny clothes. That all goes out. You got to wear all the pregnancy stuff. And you can go out dancing till 3 o'clock in the morning, but you're probably not going to want to, okay? So if you like going out with your friends and hanging out all night, that typically goes away when you're pregnant. It's just you don't have the energy or it's just not going to work, all right? So there's a list of things that you can be enjoying and doing right now. So this is another way to radically accept and appreciate your lack. What is it that I can do and enjoy in this state of lack that if this dream comes is going to be gone? I'm not going to be able to do that because when one door opens, another one is going to shut somehow. And you want to give yourself permission to really appreciate the state of lack that you are in, because this particular state of lack comes with its own particular perks and benefits. And so you want to dial into those perks and benefits and not only think about those things, but go and actually do them, go and actually enjoy them. And when you're doing these activities, I want you to remind yourself, you know what? I'm so glad that I'm not pregnant because I can enjoy this roller coaster. I can enjoy this coffee. I can enjoy my skinny jeans. I want you to think about that. I'm so glad that I'm in this state right now that I can actually enjoy this stuff still. Think about that while you're doing the activity, because that gets you to radically accept your lack state. It gets you to appreciate it. And again, that's the trick to alchemizing lack. When we focus on not having and we're worried and stressed about it, we keep the absence of the thing that we want active, and it just won't come. But if we can find a way to be in lack and appreciate and enjoy that state, we're no longer really focused on not having. Instead, we feel like we do have. I have sushi, I have trampolines, I have roller coasters. You're focusing on what you have. And when you focus on having, you get to have more. So that's a really neat technique to use because again, it's going to get your mind shifted. It's going to get you off the idea of not having and onto the idea of having. And quite frequently, you will find that just getting involved in one of those activities is enough to make the dream that you really want come true. All right, I've been saving my favorite technique. I'm going to share that one with you next. But first, if you enjoy law of attraction videos that teach you how to manifest the life of your dreams, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, go ahead and turn on the handy notification bell. I put out content like this every single week, and I know you're going to love it. All right, this next technique to radically accept your lack in order to use your lack to manifest your dream is my favorite one on this list because it's a bit adventurous. And I like the idea of adventure. I like the idea of taking a negative, what feels like a negative, and turning it into fun and excitement. Okay. And so this particular technique to radically accept your lack in order to manifest has to do with creating a new life trajectory, a new life path, a new life story. When we are focused negatively on our lack, we get kind of stuck in one particular narrative. And it's as if we're kind of stuck in a holding pattern and we can't move forward. Okay, so like maybe you kind of like somebody and you have your eye on them, but it hasn't turned into a relationship, or maybe they're dodging you or whatever. You can get stuck into this narrative of thinking about what life would be like with them and thinking about when are they going to come. And your whole mindset is really stuck on this trajectory that hasn't gotten off the ground. And you become almost immobilized. Like you're kind of stuck where you are and you can't move forward because you're trying to follow a path that isn't clicking right now, okay? And so what you can do in these situations is you can design a new life trajectory and get on it. Now, the trick to this one is really getting on the trajectory. So let me give you an example. This one is something that happened to me before I understood about the law of attraction, but I always conjure this memory to remind me to use this strategy. So there was a time that I really wanted to become a high school teacher. And I've talked about this before on my channel. I used to be a high school psychology teacher. And I applied, I was doing all the interviews, I was doing all the things, but couldn't quite lock down the job. And so I'd gone to like the school fairs, I'd done all that stuff, and the school year started and I never got a call. I never got a call to come in and start teaching. And I was disappointed, but at the time I was 27 and I was like, you know what? It's probably gonna be at least a year before I get a teaching job. So you know what I'm gonna do instead? Why don't I go ahead and try and have a baby? Okay, because I was married at the time. I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and try and have a baby? And I'll keep working this other job over here and let's get this other dream started. And it was really funny because within a very short window of time of making this decision that I'm gonna stop working on getting the teaching job and I'm just gonna get on board with having a baby, I ended up getting a call from the principal of the school that I really wanted to work for. And somebody had left the school and he offered me the position. And then as soon as I got the job and I showed up, like a week later, I realized I was pregnant. So not getting the job and being in lack and then going on the new path actually ended up yielding me two dreams in the same window, my daughter and the job that I really wanted. So like if something's not working out for you, try to find a different path. You know, if things aren't working out with this guy that you really like, why not book a trip with your girlfriends or start a new class or go do something new? Try and get yourself into a new life trajectory where you say, you know what, I'm going to take this negative, this thing that isn't working out, I'm going to make it my reason for starting this new adventure over here. Very often what you'll see is that if you do that, you're going to have that experience that I did with the baby. Okay, that you're going to end up getting a new life trajectory and the thing that you wanted. Now, I've got some more ways to work with lack. I've got a video on manifesting in spite of resistance. So if you're feeling very resistant to your dream coming, or you're feeling like it's just not going to happen, or you're worried about it, and if you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy this other video. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. It's on manifesting in spite of resistance. It's got more techniques just like the ones I mentioned in today's video. But thanks so much for watching today's video on how to turn your lack into dream fuel. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. And of course, I look forward to bringing you another one soon. Bye-bye.